Live in high definition, you're watching Game Night.
Well, good evening to you. Final week of the high school football regular season. Plus, we have Roger Wallace, who is at Kansas State with the Longhorns. But first, the last few playoff spots up for grabs as the season comes to an end in high school football. So get your brackets out. Last night, Cedar Park able to knock off three-time defending champ Lake Travis to win the 25 4A district title. Cedar Park, unbeaten on the season, will host LBJ in the opening round next Thursday. That's at Gupton Stadium. Lake Travis, meanwhile, gets McCallum at House Park. That's the 4A big school bracket. As for 5A, Bowie handing Westlake their only district loss, so they share the 15-5A district title, but Bowie enters the playoffs with the higher seed, which means Westlake gets two-time state semifinalist Stony Point in their opener. Tigers trying to make history tonight with their first undefeated regular season, rounding it out against Pflugerville. Panthers have an outside shot at the playoffs, but up against one of the best, Jihad Johnson, able to sidestep the defender and get in for Stony Point. 7-0 Tigers without their second quarterback, Gus Barrera, tonight, sidelined with injury. Instead, Aaron Sharp had it under control to Dustin Beasley, and another touchdown. Stony Point finishes a perfect 10-0, the first time in their school history. Ready for another state run, starting with Westlake. Westwood already headed to the 5A small school playoffs back at Dragon Stadium for the second straight week. This time a visitor to Round Rock. Warriors running the place, though. Ben Johnson to Big Grant Peterson, receiver committed to the Rice Owls. He does the rest, and touchdown Westwood. There would be more in this one. Dragons trying to move the ball against the Westwood defense, but Sam Vaughn gets intercepted by Brad Florence going the other way, and Westwood with a short field from there. Ben Johnson again getting the job done, hurls it over the middle to Kyle Jacobson, another Warriors score, and they win handily 44-0. Leander will join Westwood in the small school 5A playoffs, closing out against McNeil, who would love to finish with a win, but the Lions on a roll since a tough non-district. Chase Gelkin to John Henderson, and he's gone. Leander wins 34-7, playing some of their best football at the right time. And so Georgetown, in their bye week, will take the last playoff spot in 16-5A and match up with Bowie in the first round. A battle at House Park tonight for playoff seeding. Anderson and Austin High in their finale, both headed to the 5A small school bracket. Maroons on the move early. Jordan Jaquez to go-to receiver Caleb Jones, who turns upfield for a huge gain, finally pushed out of bounds, but it would set up this. Jaquez again playing pitch and catch with Jones, and this time for a touchdown. 7-0 Austin High, but Anderson would answer. Sam Waymeyer rolling out to a wide open Justin Montemayor, who's into the end zone untouched to tie the game, and then a bad bounce for Austin High. Jaquez has his pass ricochet off of a helmet, and Bradley Wilkins in the right place at the right time for the interception. Trojans would convert it to another touchdown. Big Connor Sheehan getting the call, bulldozing in, and the Trojans with the lead late in the game, 34-26. Again, that is for seeding. The winner would get Westwood. The loser of that game gets Leander in the first round of the playoffs. That's it for 5A. Let's talk more 4A now, and time to bring in Layla Rahimi for our Game of the Week. Bastrop and Hutto playing for a piece of the district title. Layla?
Brian, this is a game that you wait all season for. It was a logjam at the top of District 16 4A. Connolly, Hutto, and Bastrop all tied at 4-1, and it came down to the final game of the season to decide who was going to play for a part of that District 16 4A title on the Game of the Week.
We're the Hutto Helmet Crew, and you're watching the Game of the Week. Go Hippos!
We've got to show the dads some love before the season's over, don't we? Good job, guys. Bastrop gets started like we thought they would. Josiah Monroe cruises 34 yards, making people miss. Bears take a 7-0 lead, but Hutto would answer. Alondre Thorne takes a direct snap, bounces to the outside, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. 25-yard touchdown run, but they wouldn't convert the two, so Bastrop would lead by a point. It's no problem, though. More Hippos. Ryan Higgins with a floater to Darian Allen. 25 yards on the pass and catch. 13-7 Hippos. Hutto's had 341 yards in the first half alone. They cruised tonight, winning 36-7. Thorne by himself had 4 touchdowns on the evening. Hutto, now winner of District 16 4A, splitting it with Connolly. They will take on Mesquite Poteet in Waco next week. As far as the other team, Bastrop, they will play Corsicana. That also next week in Waco. Brian, back to you.
All right, thanks, Layla. In that same district, Hendrickson with the tiebreaker over Brian Rudder, able to sit back this week and ease into the playoffs. They'll join Connolly in the large school or Division I 4A bracket. Let's see if Connolly was able to split that district title with Hutto. Cougars home to Maynard tonight on senior night, and all year long they've leaned on the running power of Kenneth DeFee, doing it here again, plowing ahead for 6, and then right back, marching downfield. Devin Lewis gets it out to Randall Page, and he rumbles forward for a first down and able to move the chains for the Cougars to set up DeFee, taking the pitch from Lewis around the outside and sneaking in for another score. Connolly, big winners tonight to share the title. Bastrop joining them, of course, in the big school 4A bracket, or Hendrickson, rather, as Bastrop goes to the small school bracket. Interesting situation for the last playoff spot in 25 4A. Vandergrift, first year varsity, needing to beat Marble Falls by 17 to make it in, but Mustangs making sure it didn't happen. Austin Sparks for the touchdown. Vipers did get on the board late. Dakota Prukop to Cameron Harris, but it was too little too late. Marble Falls locks up their spot 21-6 over Vandergrift. Finally, Reagan and LBJ meeting in a rivalry game to wrap up the season. Jaguars rolling in this one. Darius Collins to Randon Knotts, who dances his way into the end zone, but watches players get a little chippy there at the end. Then Aiden Kahn to Trey Porter, and Porter trying to break it for a big touchdown run, but he's eventually hauled down inside the 10, or rather pushed out inside the 10. LBJ would punch it in from there. It's Randon Knotts again, but flags at the end of the play here. Gabriel Kahn removed from the game by head coach Stimo Odoms for unsportsmanlike conduct there. LBJ does win big. They get Cedar Park next. Want to send a congratulations out to Lexington, Wimberley, and Lago Vista, who all finished their seasons a perfect 10-0 this year.